All right, welcome back to another Open Chat Live. This is Total OS Today, Total Technology for Beginners and Beyond. Open Chat means an open forum, whatever you guys would like to chat about, any technology topic or not, but keep it clean. We can talk about for this Open Chat. I have a friend of mine, Tim F., joining me from Minnesota.
How you doing, folks?
He's feeling a little bit better. We have Lamer Linux, Joe Sherlock. Sounds like a new person in the house. Welcome, Joe. Anselm, hello, welcome all. So again, this is just an open chat, just a chit-chat open forum. We'll do the regular show tomorrow evening. Ray Lackey, greetings from Oklahoma. Awesome. I love doing this stuff. You never know who's gonna pop in. You know, hopefully Steven Spielberg will pop in so I can tell him about my dad's movie. Steven, if you got no plans, you know. Chris Samuel says you've got the look like the new Mint 19 icons. I'm running Ubuntu Mate, but Linux Mint 19 looks awesome. Qualis 66, Quails, I believe 66. Welcome, Quail 66. Albert Crow, what's happening? There was some big news today out of NASA, the National Aeronautics Space Administration. Apparently, they got a robot that they sent up there in 2012 that's still running. You know what's amazing? NASA can build these little miniature cars. They can send it the freaking thing 100 miles away and still work 6 years later, but we still can't build the quality vehicle that can last longer than that without any issues. Now you figure that out, Tim.
Well, that could be the difference between buying a very, very built automobile.
We lost Tim's connection. We lost you, Tim. Anyway. But there was some news out of, we'll see if we can get Tim to jump back. We lost his connection. Don't know if there's a storm coming in, a Windows 10 storm. By the way, if there's anybody, I need to tell you that if there's anybody using PayPal to contribute to these live streams, thank you. But that being said, the PayPal monthly option, there's a little click box. It kind of works like Patreon, like if you wanted to give like $1 a month or $10 a month. That is not working. I don't know why. I updated my PayPal account. I thought I had it fixed, and it's not working. So please, I apologize. Please do not use that option. Don't click that checkbox. You can still use PayPal. But don't click that. I'm just looking at the comments here, but don't click that monthly option because it does not work, and I don't know why. So I apologize for that. So I may have to go back to Patreon. I don't know. Just more work I don't really need. All right, so Tim locked up. He'll be right back. Okay, Tim. Peppermint 9, I don't know, Joe. I would imagine this summer. I think they release when ready. Tim, you back?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
No problem. So yeah, we were talking about cars. NASA can build a little solar-powered mini car, rover, Curiosity, 100 million miles away. 6 years later, still runs.
How much did it cost to build?
A few dollars.
A buck or two.
A buck or two, but still, you know, with all the technology. Yeah, Steve Gunnick says the monthly option, forget about it. I was just mentioning that the PayPal monthly option doesn't work on PayPal. So please forget about it. Right. And you copied and pasted what I said, how I spell forget about it. Smart, Steve. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Don't use it. Just do the one-time thing, or how many times you want to do it, and we'll just go from there. Quail 66, you're from the Spatry days. Yes, I remember. Absolutely. Yeah.
I understand Spatry's actually been on, he's kind of showing himself on the Cup of Linux. Is that his website?
Yes, Cup of Linux, yeah.
He's showing himself on the site a couple of times, on the forum a couple of times. So
nice.
Good deal.
Yes, Joe. Peppermint team does not set a date they release when ready. That is true. So I'm assuming it's going to be ready when they feel like. Linux Mint, well, the beta's out. At the end of this month, you should be good to go. From what I tested, the betas are fine. I mean, if you have a separate spare machine, yeah, go ahead and install it. You should be okay. You should be fine. So I wanted to give me a second here. Let me go to, looks good there. Let me go do this. I can see your comments still, so. I'm going to pop this link in the chat. This is a friend of mine. She is an independent artist from Boston. She's currently doing her thing in Germany. Her name is Stephanie Forian. I think you'll like that song, Closer Than Before. So give Stephanie a shout out for Stephanie. We were doing some news and nonsense stuff last year. She's trying to get her next album financed and finished. Of course, for independent artists, it's tough. Believe me, I know. So check out her that video there. You could check out her website. And if you like what you hear, maybe buy 1, 2, 300 of her CDs and tell her I said hello. But you can check out her tunes on iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp. So check that link out there and tell me what you think. No windows in this place, yeah. Steven Anderson. Hello, Steven. Steven, I just said, I don't know if you caught it, but on my PayPal link, the monthly option does not work. So I don't know if you were using that. Thank you if you are. Don't use that monthly option. I don't know what's up with PayPal, but that option does not work for me. So, yeah, check out that link. Let me type her name down. Great gal, beautiful voice, great singer. And tell her I sent you. And she's got a couple of CDs. That one is called Dreamer. It's like a 5-song EP CD. And then the full album came out in 2016. It's called Sweet Insomnia. She had a couple hits overseas, made the top 100. So she got some traction overseas. Beautiful voice. She writes all her own stuff. Nice tune. Yes, it is a nice tune. A very good voice. Yeah, so tell her I said hello and tell her we want her back on News and Nonsense. Tell her that we miss her. She's been a good sport. I am some awesome 74. 78 is in the house. If you want to watch her video now, I ain't going anywhere. Go ahead and watch it, Quails. Yeah. Trust me. That video there, all you got to do is watch the first 30 seconds and you'll know what I'm talking about. So forget about it, okay? We keep losing Tim. I don't know what's going on tonight. There you are, Tim. What's going on?
Man, I hope this browser thing isn't starting up again now with Vivaldi.
Wow.
Man, I'm going to go nuts.
Well, there's always Windows 10.
Yeah.
Windows 10.
I don't have the machine in the house.
Yes, on this channel we speak gibberish.
We do. I don't know what their problem is. I understand you this fine.
Steve Winkler says, why is air conditioning like computers? When you open Windows, they're both useless. Good one.
That is very true, Steve.
Excellent. Linux Mint 19 beta seems stable. Yes, it does, Stephen. Yes, it does. I've been happy with what I've seen so far. Can you change tab colors in Vivaldi? I don't know. Never really thought about it.
Yeah, Chris, the way that I don't know if you can change the tab colors specifically, but when you change tabs within the browser, the top bar of Vivaldi changes inherently to the, I guess, the color palette of the website you're looking at. For instance, if you open Vivaldi and you have Google open as your homepage, the top bar in Vivaldi is blue. If you navigate to, say, the Linux Mint homepage, the top bar in Vivaldi will change green. And for instance, right now I am in Vivaldi, and the only open tab I have is for Google Hangouts. The top bar in it is green, like the Hangout, logo, I guess. It's a pretty slick browser. The more I've used it, the more I've really come to like it. It's really a snappy
Nice.
browser. It
Nice.
works really well for me. There's some things with, as long as I use Chrome and Chromium, that this kind of I guess muscle memory more than anything that I've had to get used to. But I cannot say anything bad about Vivaldi in any way, shape, or form.
Nice. Yeah, I installed it today in my Linux Mint Cinnamon ThinkPad. I mean, I've tested it before. It seems okay.
Yep.
It seems pretty fast. Opera seems good too. So, I mean,
some people
yeah.
kind of jack you around because Vivaldi is not technically fully open, free and open, I guess. But myself, you know what? Within certain regards, I
Right.
don't care what it is, as long as it works, I'm there. Same with the OSs. I
Yeah.
don't have a favorite OS. I tend
Yeah.
to migrate towards the Debian-based stuff just because that's what I started on. That's what I'm used to.
Right.
Nothing against any other RPM-based or
Right.
Arch-based or anything else.
Right.
What I'm used to, and I really could give a rat's rear end what the name of the OS is. If it's stable, it works. Every time I turn my computer on, it's ready for me as quickly as I'm ready for it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, it has to work. You know, I want it to install, do the updates. I want the stuff to work. I don't want to solve puzzles. And that's what it comes down to. Hi, Heather. Hi, Tony. Welcome. I have to say, speaking of puzzles, Brazero has bombed on me again. I don't know why. I thought I had it licked in Ubuntu Mate. It works in Linux Mint. I wanted to burn like another playlist for my car, play in the car for the summer. It keeps freezing on starting to record or starting to burn or something, just freezing. And I checked the dependencies when it, well, you know what? I'm done. I went to my Linux Mint, burned the CD, I'm good to go. So I did post a bug report on the Ubuntu Mate, and they are very helpful. I had like 3 replies, 2-3 replies, try this or do this. Very nice people there. Maybe someone will figure it out, but you know, after a while, I'm like, you know what? I want to solve puzzles anymore, especially to burn a freaking CD.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. The simple stuff, like I
come
can
on.
understand.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something really intricate or
Right.
something that really, you know, it's not a very well used or frequently used type of thing.
I mean, if
I
I
can
was
understand.
right, if I was trying to hook up like 47 monitors, I
Yeah,
can see that
yep.
can be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But burn a CD, you know, round. They actually look like this. You might recall these. They're still around. Yes, I still use them.
I got to give a shout out to Heather. Hi, Heather. It was
Hi, Heather.
great touching bases with you yesterday. I hope you're doing great. Look for an email from me tomorrow, dear.
I need to step away. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness! So that means you guys are stuck with me. So how about we do this? Let's throw something out in the chat. What hey, DistroTube and Switch to Linux are in the house. Hi Tom, hi Derek. What distro is everybody using right now? You know, that Toss, we have to talk to him. Older guy like that, he goes and drinks a half a bottle of wine, and then he fires up a live stream. And before you know it, what happens? He has to get up and go and use the bathroom. My goodness, we have to try to get him trained with this, huh? So Chris is using 18.3 Mint. Cool. Tony's on Manjaro XFCE. Steve's using Steve Winkler is on Peppermint 8, of course. It's right. Steve is a huge Peppermint user. And then we have Steve Gunick on Mint 19. Kenny's on Mint 19, 18.3 XFCE. Chris Samuel, what desktop environment are you using right now? And then we've got Horace, beta Arch build, cool. Terry Love, we've got MX 17.1, awesome distro, awesome distro. And then Anslem, we're on 1810 Lubuntu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is 1810 Lubuntu, is that with the what the heck is it? The
Very lightweight.
LXQT, right? LXQT.
I believe so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lamer's on MX.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Awesome.
I had to grab some orange juice. I was trying to avoid Coke or Pepsi tonight, all that, stuff. But
William Armstrong's taking a look at Sparky Linux in a VM.
interesting.
I haven't. Have you ever tried Sparky, Toss?
I think I have once. I think I have. I think it was okay. I know it's been a while. Alex for the win uses Farron. Alex, I believe you are new. Welcome to the open chat for this evening, Alex for the win.
Nice to see you, Alex. Yeah, DT that said that 1810, it's like pre-alpha. It really is, because I think
that's right up DT's alley. That you can ask him, because he's the unstable tube.
He's downloading it right now. Yes, he's downloading it. You know what he's going to do? Oh, the hell with this Arch stuff. I'm just going to throw 1810 on my production machine. And then as soon as I'm done doing that, I'm going to do a live stream and have a crap on me.
See, that's where all the fun is at on DT's channel. Because he'll be like, welcome to the crash. Yep. That's what I'm waiting for. A live stream for welcome to another crash. And all you're going to see is like a black screen. That's all you're going to see. Or maybe a blue screen or a white screen. But that's all you see. And then you'll see some wonky terminal graphics. And then he'll say, Toss, stop messing with my system. No, I'm just kidding. William has tried rolling release distros. Fair success. Okay. Generally speaking, I stay away from rolling release distros. Now, if you want to install it in a spare machine, be my guest. But as an everyday main desktop, I would not do that personally. I would not.
So Sparky is based on the Debian testing branch. Do they only have? Do they? It doesn't Spark are all versions of Sparky based on the testing branch?
I don't know. Oh. Yeah. Well, there's Debian stable testing, and then there's Debian DT version, which is nuts. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But unstable, right?
Crashes on every 3 mouse clicks. Yeah.
Deepin OS reviewers in the house. Do you really use Deepin OS? You have my sympathies. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome, howdy. I tried Deepin twice. Forget about it. Ain't for me.
It's a pretty good. It's not a bad desktop environment.
It looks good. It looks good.
It looks really cool. But the underlying OS.
Yeah.
I can't. I tried it a couple of times. I can't get the stupid thing to update without it wanting to take like 6 hours or something ridiculous.
Exactly. That's why I don't use it.
However, I did try Deepin on Manjaro for just a couple of days.
Yeah.
I farted around with it in a VM and then threw it on one of my older laptops. Played around with it for a couple of days.
Okay.
And the Deepin desktop environment is not bad. It's got pretty good workflow and stuff like that. But then again, I'm a GNOME guy, so I'm gonna kind of like it to begin with.
I think I saw Switch to Linux in the house. Hi, Switch. How are you?
Yeah, Kenny just made a comment saying, Quid's up. You'd released that video maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks
Yeah.
ago, or something as such,
Uh-huh.
where
Uh-huh.
you've been looking at Deepin and he'd said, "Hey, Deepin is spyware."
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Kenny, the one thing you're going to want to make sure that you realize about that is that Deepin is doing a phone home type of thing, but the website that it's going to has a lot more to do with the app store within Deepin. It's not doing, from what QuidsUp could see, by definition, yes, you could say spyware because it's doing something that you would not know it was doing unless you looked for it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, by definition, you could say spyware, but it's not doing anything nefarious. It's not grabbing personal info or anything as such. As far as he could tell from what I remember of the video, it wasn't doing anything ugly behind the scenes. The thing that it was doing that it wasn't alerting you to when you downloaded and installed the OS, that was part of making the OS work just a little bit better for the end user. And I think Deepin came out and they said they kind of came up with something the same as that, saying, "Look, we're not trying to do anything that's under, we're not trying to do anything under the covers here. This is what this thing is." A lot of people didn't really receive that, and I think one of the misconception is yeah, the distro is a Chinese based distro, and yes, there's, depending upon what news channel or website you look at, you can form your own opinion there. But I would tend to say is that we're in the day and age right now where, from an open source
Yeah.
standpoint, with as many people that look at the code,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to remember, QuidsUp is only one very well educated person in the world of Linux. There are a lot of other people that are out there looking at things like this. They may be pinged to look at it from somebody like QuidsUp, but there's a lot of people out there looking at it, and I tend to believe that if there really was something terribly bad with it, that we probably would have heard things from masses of people, not just a few select folks.
Right.
It's not that I mistrust what those select folks are
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
but it's not like it's not in the news like
Right.
Microsoft buying GitHub. It's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. So, and
Right. Right.
I,
Right.
I can see where people are going to say, "I just don't trust it."
Yeah.
You know what? To each his own.
Right.
Myself, I just I don't like the underneath side of the distro.
Like we talked about, I tried it once or twice. The update process or downloading software took forever. It
Yep.
felt sluggish. It's just not for me. I mean, if I want slow, I'll just go with Ubuntu GNOME. So,
Deepin,
yeah.
Deepin OS reviewer that says thank you very much for your comment here. They use the CNZZ, which is basically like Google Analytics. The Deepin store is actually a website,
Right.
and that's what I remember as reading,
Right.
and I believe that was even QuidsUp conclusion as well. So
Right. Right.
no harm, no foul. It's just not a
Right.
distro for me.
If this will be a short one for tonight, I got the regular show tomorrow night. But if you want to join or DT, just let me know. If not, that's okay. Tonight's just an open chat, random stuff for this evening. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, the desktop environment looks cool, but I don't know. I don't trust it either. I'll just stick with what I've been using. Apple had their summit, as it were, a few days ago. It seemed to me what they were talking about was more software related than hardware related,
Yep.
such as updates to FaceTime, Siri. I believe iOS 12 will be backwards compatible through the iPhone 6, and it will not slow your hardware down. They got caught last year, or was it this year? Slowing things down with the
Slowing
update.
yeah.
Yeah. If I read correctly, I'll have more on that tomorrow evening. Chris, tomorrow night it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the States, 10 p.m. New York time as usual. We'll talk about that tomorrow night.
Anna Rita, this pinged a question for me. I'll address this if that's okay for just a moment or two.
Sure.
Guys, I've been dealing with some health stuff the last 2 to 3 weeks. I was having some problems with temperature, which in most cases says, there's some There's some issues going on with infections. I have some other stuff that happened to me when I was younger. This last bout of health issue was from bacterial bronchitis, and I've got myself checked out. Things are on the up and up. I'm feeling better every day. I'm sleeping like a son of a gun. I'm sleeping like a 6-month-old baby does, but it's what my body needs. I'm listening to what the doctor is telling me, getting plenty of fluids, plenty of rest, hanging out with cool people like all of you folks. And you know what? Time is on my side. So
Very good.
doctor did tell me I needed to lose a little bit of weight. He said I needed to get in shape. I said, what the hell do you mean? Round is a shape. But he didn't find that too.
Bump.
He didn't find that real funny. But I'm doing well. So just to get that out, so I don't have to
Right.
type so much.
Very good.
And thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet you.
asking.
Nice to meet you too, Joe. Yep. Great to have you here.
Yep.
Horace says no more Apple. I'll be glad when I get home from WWDC. Okay.
Is app the WWDC is a worldwide developer conference, correct? Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. See, there goes Toss again. He drank that half bottle of wine. Now he has to go get rid of the other half. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. So, is anybody have anything fun happening coming up this weekend, other than making sure you are on the you're on the broadcast tomorrow night? Again, Toss is going to be on tomorrow night. I believe I'm going to be joining him. I'm thinking there's a good chance that we'll see Joe Panico, and maybe Switch to Linux will be able to join us, and we'll also see DistroTube if we're lucky. So that'll be cool. Again, that's tomorrow night, 10 p.m.
I just realized I'm out of juice. Oh well.
Oh, you know what? I haven't looked to see. I haven't looked to see how many thumbs up we've gotten. If you
Thumbs
guys
up,
have
like the channel, please.
Yep.
So.
If you guys haven't done so already, get underneath there and hit that thumbs up.
For those of you joining in late, those of you who pledge support with PayPal for this channel, the monthly option, the little tab there, don't click that. It does not work, and I don't know why, so don't use that option. I've gotten a couple, 2 or 3 emails from contributors. I won't mention their names, but I got emails saying that that option has been skipped. Try again in 5 days. It did try it again in 5 days, and then it said it again. It's not working. So I'm not sure what's going on. So please do not use that monthly option. I'll look into Patreon again to have an option, but for some reason, and I updated my PayPal account a few days ago. I thought maybe that was it, but I don't have a clue. So just to let you guys know.
I was reminding folks of the stream that you're going to put on tomorrow night, Toss, and asked what people had going on this coming weekend for some fun. It looks like Anna Rita's going to be doing a barbecue and having game night with some friends and family.
Nice.
And board game. You remember back when we were kids? We didn't have these idiot boxes to play with.
I know, really.
We had the board games.
Board games. Imagine that. I used to play a game called Trouble, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Shoots and Ladders. That was
Don't
a good
remember
one.
that one. Battleship.
Battleship, yep.
Yeah.
I remember playing Battleship.
Yeah.
And then the electronic Battleship came out.
Yeah.
You remember that? That was awesome.
I used to play Kerplunk, I think it's called. Kerplunk?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
God. I used to play Trouble with my boy when he was little. You know the game, right? You hit the thing in the middle.
Yep.
You got the little colored thingy tabs, and I would hit him. I would grab his. Okay, you're done. And he'd be like, "Daddy," you know.
I still play board games to this day. Every so often, my wife and I will play one. But
Nice.
whenever my one granddaughter shows up,
Yeah.
it's always Grandpa and her
Okay.
and Candyland.
Ah.
We gotta play a game or two of Candyland, or it just isn't a weekend without doing that.
Adam Grubbs. Board games are actually making a resurgence. Interesting. Well, I know why.
People are sick of Windows.
No, with board games, there's no privacy issue.
Ah,
It's
like
clever.
like
Yeah.
I've said before, people here
Right, right,
you will
right.
learn more here by accident than by
Yeah.
design.
There's no privacy issue.
Yep.
You know.
Toss, what do you got happening this weekend?
Well, tomorrow night we'll do the Thank Toss. It's Friday, and then for the weekend, I don't know. Depending on the weather, it's supposed to storm. Hopefully not, because it's summertime here in Ohio. I like to be more outside than inside when possible. So that depends on the weather. We'll see how things go. Nothing new from Italy with my dad and his movie. I usually call him on Sundays to see if anything new. I actually
Cool.
sent him a picture of my son's graduation photo, so hopefully he got it. But yeah, this weekend, the weather permitting, as far as what I'll be doing, I need to cut the grass again since I got fresh batteries for my cordless lawnmower. That's my workout.
Gotcha.
Takes about a couple hours total.
So you went and got replacement batteries for it?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I had a 6-year-old black. I mean, I try to go recyclable and green as much as possible.
Yep.
I had a 6-year-old Black and Decker cordless mower. Basically, it has like an orange lid, 6 screws. You take out the hood, as it were. There's three 12-volt, like little mini car batteries.
Yep.
There's 3 batteries in series. I went on Amazon. I matched the model number, the volts and the amps. 12 volts, 10 amps. Got them in. Took out the old one, popped in the new. Good to go. There's no
Awesome.
maintenance. There's no gas. There's no fumes. It's not as loud. There's no oil changes, air filter muff. There's nothing. There's no maintenance. You either have the good batteries or you don't. You charge it up like a cell phone,
Yep.
and you're good to go. Now the new ones have lithium batteries, so I think they last longer per charge.
You still got to do a blade sharpening on those, right?
You should. I have not,
Okay.
but it still seems to cut. So probably after 6 years, I should. I should take it to my local M&M True Value Hardware, rather. But you know what? It cuts. Now, is it a perfect blade cut? I can't tell. I'm not a grass guy.
Yep.
Grass isn't cutting, not this, but
And well, there goes the money for this one.
that's okay.
Anna Rita just said, "Couple hours to mow the lawn. Wow, thank God my wife and I decided to go cement for our backyard." You know what, Anna Rita? I can tell
Yeah.
you, my wife and I have we have a fair amount of lawn, and we have a service coming to do it for us. But I'll tell you this:
Yeah.
if there's any way I could pull it all out, pave it
Yeah.
over,
Yeah. Yeah.
pave the entire thing over and paint it green, I would. But the problem is the grandkids would be out running around, they'd fall and hit their head on the grass, and they'd end up having to go to the emergency room for an x-ray. So
I look at it this way: it's cutting grass, sweating. It's a workout. I don't have to go to the gym. It's a workout.
Is this thing self-propelled, Toss, or are you?
No, it's not. No, it's a real workout.
So you're the
It
only
is.
thing moving it.
Yes. Yeah. It's toss propelled.
It's Toss propelled.
So I don't mind the workout. I cut it maybe once a week, I try to do it once a week, but once every 10 days tops. And it's a workout, but I got fresh batteries. It's quiet versus gas. I joke it's like driving a Lexus, pushing a Lexus. Somebody asked about Deepen. Oh, the movie. The movie is called. It's an Italian film called La Croce e la Stella. The Cross and the Star was produced by my father. It was shot in Italy on location. It's basically tells the true story, 2 stories, of the largest Italian concentration camp in Italy, built by Mussolini, that saved the lives of almost 4,000 Jews. It is an untold story. And the movie also tells the modern story of a Catholic priest who did not know he was a forgotten Jewish child of the Holocaust from that camp. Hence the 2 religions meeting, the cross and the star. My dad is looking for a distributor, and it's tough because he's not a big name. He's independent. So, And that's what the movie is about, the cross. And see if I can post a link here. Give me a second. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Hey, Charlie.
Joe Sherlock says, minimum work, maximum outcome. Okay.
Lamer has a push mower that self pulls. It's fancy. Yeah, that's the only way to do it, Lamer. If you're going to get the exercise, with this, the walking part of it, which tends, it's better than nothing. It's better than sitting on a rider.
Yeah.
Self propelled's the way to go, especially if you have some really ugly hills or incline.
Yeah.
Self propelled's the way to go.
Thank you, Deep. It's a great family movie, PG, mostly G. It's a story that has not been told before, and I never heard of a concentration camp that saved lives. Have you? I haven't, and it happened back in World War II. Let me see if I can grab it here. Give me a second. I can find it.
Yeah. Did you notice, Toss, that DistroTube kind of dropped out of the chat here a little bit?
Did he?
Yeah, okay. You know why? He's downloading that Lubuntu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good luck, DT.
Steve Gunnick says I have a perfectly running 14-year-old Troy built gas powered mower that he has his 12-year-old push. Well, it's self-propelled, but anyways, forget about it. So I'm guessing, Steve, you have not quite clued your 12-year-old into how to manipulate the self-propelled feature on the mower. That's good.
It works. I like it. No gas, no oil. Let me here it is. Let me see if I can screen share. This is the trailer, a sneak peek trailer of the movie. Give me a second here. Let's see if I can do this without crashing. You guys can take a look. I don't think my dad will mind. All right, screen share that. Okay, let's do this. Give me 1 second. Let me get the sound here. Give me 1 second to get the sound up here. Let me change this. It's a little bit different with this than OBS. Let's see if I can get it. Let me change it to that. All right. I think I got it now. So here we go.
Conquistono con le armi, ma si tengono col prestigio. E per il prestigio occorre una chiara, severa coscienza razziale che stabilisca non soltanto delle differenze, ma delle superiorità nettissime. Il problema ebraico dunque è un aspetto di questo fenomeno. L'ebraismo mondiale è stato durante 16 anni, malgrado la nostra politica, un nemico irreconciliabile del fascismo.
I don't know how well you could see that, but that's the teaser trailer. So go back. Okay. Anyway, that's the trailer. Hope it was acceptable to watch. It's not in high def. It wasn't meant to be. The copy that I received, I didn't need the high def copy, obviously. So, no word yet on distribution or anything. So, but that's the movie. We lost Tim again. Oh no. Something's going on. Lake Spin rocks. Yes, it does. Nivix X, how are you? There you are.
I am thinking I am starting to have problems with Vivaldi now.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm going to do is I have a jump stick with 18.3 cinnamon, mint 18.3 cinnamon. Tomorrow, I think I'm just
Okay.
going to get up in the morning. I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to throw Vivaldi on
Okay.
because when I had gotten this fixed before, that's when I had mint
Okay.
and Vivaldi. So we will
Okay.
make sure we are in good shape for tomorrow night's stream.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyone like The Curse of Oak Island? I have not seen it, Joe. I've been watching the Tesla Files. Fascinating stuff of Nikola Tesla. This guy was 100 years, I mean, seriously, 100 years ahead of his time. And maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow night. But your cell phone, AC power motor, AC cars, Tesla motors, wireless charging, you can thank Tesla. The
Yep.
helicopter, you can thank him 100 years ago.
Yep.
Thank you, Deep in OS. He says it looks good. You would watch that. History is amazing. Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful story. So so far my dad has not gotten. He has not received an offer he can't refuse. If you've seen The Godfather, classic phrase there.
It's actually going to be rainy around our neck of the woods this weekend, and I
Okay.
see that
Yeah.
Netflix added the Godfather trilogy on here
Oh,
a
good.
couple of months ago, and I've watched little snippets of it here or there.
My dad was in all three films. Check it out.
Was he?
He
Cool.
was.
I think
Yeah,
I'm going to sit
yeah.
down and watch all three of them back. to
Yeah,
back this
I
week.
gotta think now. Geez, in the first one, yes, Tesla was 100 years ahead of his time, of our time. In the first movie, I'm trying to think now. God, it's been so long. There's a scene where the consigliere, the lawyer, gets a visit from Michael Corleone's fiancee, girlfriend, Kay, right? She comes to the gate.
After he had left the
Right.
country.
He's in
Yep.
Italy, right? Because
Yep.
he shot the corrupt, right?
Yep.
She's asking about Michael, and behind the lawyer, behind the consigliere, you'll see a guy wearing a hat standing. That's my dad. He's like a bodyguard. That is my dad. There's another scene when Sonny Corleone gets a phone call from his sister who's had a fight with her husband, and I guess he kind of like beat her up, and he gets mad. He says, "Son of a bleep, you stay there. I'm going to come and see you. Stay there."
Yep.
He hangs up the phone. He rushes out to go get his car. He turns to the left. He sees a bodyguard sitting down. He looks at him and he says, "Get off your bleep."
Yep.
That's my dad. And there's another scene later on, I believe, where Sonny catches up with his sister's husband.
Oh yeah, and beats him up in the street.
Beats the crap out of
Yep.
him, and there's a bunch of hoods, guys there, bodyguards, telling the crowd back off. The skinny guy with the white fedora, the hat, I think it's half white. That's my dad also. He's kind of like
Gotcha.
looking up at the apartments, I guess, for shooters. Like, he's going to do something, But that's my dad also, yeah.
Not a couple of weeks ago, Steve Anderson's Sonny was played by James Caan,
Right.
and the lawyer I think his name was Tom
Yes,
something or other in the
Tom
movie.
Hagen. Yeah,
Tom Hagen. That was
Right.
Robert Duvall.
that is correct. You were close. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
actually just finished a couple of weeks ago. In fact, there's a mini series on Netflix that I think was put out by like
Yeah.
National Geographic or one of these channels called
Okay.
Inside the American Mob, and it's a
Ah,
six part
okay.
series.
Yeah.
Really good series.
Nice.
I finished watching that. That was very informative. Very
There was a since we're talking movies, there was a spoof of The Godfather called The Godson with Dom DeLuise back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Instead of the Corleone family, it was the Calzone family.
Calzone family. Yep.
And they kind of mimicked the scenes in The Godfather. So they're having a eulogy for Sonny Calzone. So they're giving a speech. Here lies Sonny Calzone. He played hard. He lived hard. He was always hard. Just
You know-
stupid, silly things like that in the movie I remember.
There weren't really a whole, they're in more modern, let's say, color
Yeah,
film time. There
yeah,
wasn't a lot of
yeah,
funny gangster type movies.
right,
Back in the 40s and 50s,
yeah,
they would have the serious, the A and B movies, the gangster or the film noir.
mhm,
And every so often, there would be a spoof, and stuff like that. There really wasn't a lot of them, but yeah, the Dom DeLuise movie, and then there was
yeah,
Michael Keaton was in Johnny
Yeah.
Dangerously.
uh-huh,
That wasn't too bad. But there was another film that had Marlon Brando
yeah,
and Matthew Broderick. I think it was him, Ferris Bueller,
okay,
and it was a mob. It was, I think Marlon Brando played a godfather
Okay.
of a family, and Matthew Broderick, I think, was his grandson.
okay,
And it was tagged as a comedy. I can't remember the name of it though.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it. It had God or Father in it though, I believe.
There was a lot of movies. There was a spoof. There was a movie called the Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight. I think there's one called
Yep.
Disorganized Crime.
Disorganized crime.
Stuff like that.
Yep.
Warriors. I remember a movie called The Warriors. Yep. Saint Raphael. How are you? I remember that.
Yesterday I watched when I had couch time.
Yeah.
Trying to get off
Yeah.
get some rest. I watched Support Your Local Sheriff with James Gardner.
Okay. Sure.
Another good funny
Yes.
movie.
Right. Right.
Comedy western.
Maybe it's time for a mainstream Linux movie. I know they've made it like a documentary here and there of Revolution OS, but I think it's time for a mainstream technology movie, just to let the people know what they're missing when they're not trying Linux. I'm not sure what the plot could be, but I think it's time.
I can already see the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
A fade into DT sitting at his desk, banging his head against his monitor.
We would have to hire a writer, of course, maybe a Windows 10 writer, and then change it.
A coder. We'd have to hire a coder.
A coder, right.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the plot would be. Unsuspecting Linux coder runs into a plot to take over the world by a rogue Linux coders or something. Hey,
There you go.
yeah.
Steve Anderson said they would make it about hackers.
Yes.
There's been a couple of fairly decent movie about hackers.
Mhm.
But there's one that had Robert Redford in it, I think, called Sneakers.
I think so. Maybe, yeah.
That one was actually a pretty
Okay.
decent movie.
Um,
That Deep in OS has said movie about Linus. That would be. I think that would be a really good biographical movie. The problem that I've got with most movies that are based on a true story,
Yeah.
it's either based on historical events or
Yeah.
it should be based on the actual events. That kind of like your father's movie. It is a story based on actual events. Awesome. Good deal.
You're
But
right.
when-
Deep in OS says that there was a movie on Steve Jobs. Why not Linus Torvalds?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
haven't seen the movie on Steve Jobs. I have no idea if it's good or not, but that's fine with me. Yeah,
That was just put out here since his death, I believe it was put out,
Mhm.
right? It was called Jobs,
maybe.
I think.
I think there were two movies, right? I don't
I
know.
think there was one documentary that was really
Okay.
good.
Okay.
And then there was a feature film that
Okay.
yep. Linus is the Terminator.
I think they're
Well,
making a Terminator. So I think Arnold is coming back.
yeah,
Linux computers are taking over the world.
and you got to look at it from this standpoint. Linus has, let's just say, what shall we call it? The creative vocabulary that would fit a Terminator type character rather well.
Yes. 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 He's not shy at all. If you know what I mean.
No,
Wasn't Batman's computer in Batman versus Superman Linux? I don't know. Was it?
I haven't seen it.
I saw the movie. I don't know. Maybe someone can verify that. If it was,
Handsome-
yeah,
Ansem that said he thinks it could have been Ubuntu.
wonderful. There would have to feature a penguin in the movie. I know penguins just don't come across as evil, threatening. I just don't see it. I know what you mean, but I just don't. I don't know. Unless
How
it
do-
could be like a little mascot pet in the movie or something, you know.
Heather this asked, is Linus still around making Linux? Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
Heather. He is actively involved in kernel development,
Yes.
and he maintains a complete mailing list with the Linux Kernel Foundation. Is that who it is?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. Yeah.
And yeah, he is very, very actively
Yeah.
involved, daily involved.
Right.
Daily involved, and he
Yeah.
also does a lot of he does a lot of
Yeah.
keynotes at certain events around the country and around the world, for that matter.
Right.
He's still very active.
Yep. There was a story about we were talking movies about Solo, a Star Wars movie bombed like a flop, and I think it needs to make. It's hard to believe, but I believe it needs to make 500 million, $500 million just to break even. Supposedly, it is completely insane. Now, I haven't seen the movie. My friend saw it. He says he kind of liked it. So I mean, I don't know. But then somebody commented, "This is what happens when you make a politically correct movie." I'm like, that's the first I've heard of that. I mean, the Star Wars movie I've seen, playing the so-called politics, was the last thing on my mind, Tim. I don't know about if you see any politics in it. I do not.
I haven't, but when I sit down to watch a movie, for me, politics is kind of the last thing that's even on my mind when I go to
Right.
sit down to watch a movie.
Right. I want to get
I have-
away from that. Right.
Yeah, correct. So it'd be hard for me to
Right.
to kind of
Right.
pick out.
So I did some research. I'm watching. I did some research on the web, watching some YouTube videos, commentary about, well, Hollywood or the Star Wars people, Disney, who bought out Star Wars, doesn't get it because you're adding political correctness, adding blacks, adding women in lead roles. I'm like, what the bleep are you talking about, man?
You know. I've got a useful 2-letter word for it, which I won't spit out. But
I
you know
understand.
What? You know what?
Well,
Anybody
yeah.
can pick out what. Look, in this day and age, especially in the day and age where information is so readily available because of the machines that we're sitting in front of,
right.
you know what? Anybody can come up with their own spin
Right.
on this, their spin on that. You know, go back to the simple stuff. If you're going to go and watch a movie, forget about politics. Forget about the rain outside.
Yes. Right.
Forget,
right. Right.
Forget about the BS, the garbage in your life. Get away from it. Go and watch a movie for its entertainment value. And you know what? Who really gives a rat's rear end whether the lead role
Well,
is a woman or a person of
Right.
color?
Right.
If they are qualified and they're damn good at their job, I will pay the money to watch the movie, and then I'll pay the money to own the DVD.
Right, that's how I look. Although I will have to admit, Tim, when I was watching Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I can see where it was leading up to the killing of Han Solo. I kept telling my boy, "Don't you kill that white guy? Don't you?" No, I'm just kidding. No, the last thing on my mind was freaking politics. Come on, people.
No,
You know, it's stupid to say it's politics now. Either you tell a good story or you don't.
yep. And you know what? We all know it. And regardless of where you are on the political spectrum,
You're right.
this isn't to open a debate or anything else. But we know that Hollywood, as well as many other places in the world, are very political.
Yes.
And if you start putting that in front of wanting to have get good value out of your entertainment, you're never going to be able to watch anything without a set of blinders on, or excuse me, a set of glasses with a filter on it.
Okay.
You know, take the glasses off, forget about all the garbage, go and watch it for what it is.
The best movies are didactic. They are entertaining and enlightening.
Yep.
The Godfather, A Few Good Men, so on. You go there for the entertainment value, maybe to be enlightened by something that you just never thought about before, or something that hasn't been talked about. You know, Saving Private Ryan comes to mind. Schindler's List, entertaining and enlightening.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I think my favorite movie of all time because of my age and the movies I've watched.
Okay.
Forrest Gump is definitely within the top 5. I would say in the top 3.
Anything, any product of man, of humanity, that can contribute to the common good of humanity is probably something worth talking about.
Yes.
You know, so when we're talking about movies, well, why did they put a lead woman versus the lead guy versus black or white? I'm going for the quality of the story. We're all humans.
It's what the story calls for, and whoever is the better person for that particular role.
And you'll notice,
put 'em in it.
You'll notice most movies flop because the story sucks.
Yep.
It's not because of an ethnic, race, nature of the stars. My guess is one of the reasons why Solo flopped was because, in spoiler alert, in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Han Solo gets killed by his son, who's now part of the dark side.
Yep.
So Solo is a prequel. It's not like, oh, don't tell me what happens in the storyline. We all know the guy dies. So there's no shock value. There's no enlightenment at the end. I think that's one of the reasons. Now, if Solo would have come out before The Force Awakens,
it probably would have done better.
Probably. But because we already know the ending, we don't care about Solo, Star Wars story. That's my guess. Yeah.
Anna Rita, this said, have you guys seen Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2? You know,
No.
Again, Grumpy Old Men starred... Toss, do you remember seeing the original Odd Couple movie with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau?
I think so. Yeah, way back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau made a total, I think, of 9 or 10 or 11 movies together.
Okay.
And every one of their movies, if you remember this chemistry between the two actors during the Odd Couple, every movie they made had that same chemistry where it was this two guys having fun, making a movie and telling a story.
Yeah.
And if you ever have time, grab Grumpy Old Men, the first and the second one.
Okay.
They're awesome movies, really good movies to watch around like Thanksgiving and Christmas times because one of them kind of takes place around that time of the year.
Okay. Hello, Zenaris. He says, "Hi, Toss. I am here. You are here. Yes, you are. Welcome. Welcome."
Nice to see you, Zenaris.
Rocky is good. Even some of the sequels are okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you got past Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, I think were really good.
Yeah.
I think they were really, really well told stories.
Right.
I think the one where Mr. T came into it, I think that was the third movie.
Was it third? Maybe it was. Okay.
Yeah, it was third because the fourth one.
Rocky, was the Russian? Yeah.
Was the Russian?
Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
You know, I liked 1 and 2, but as 3 came out and then going down the line, this kind of got more, I don't know, cheesy, I guess, would maybe be
right. They were still fun to watch, but there was nothing enlightening about them, the movies. But they were
Correct.
okay.
They told a story and they continued the
story.
story.
Now, the one sequel he did, I think it was just called Rocky Balboa, where he loses his wife. Now he has to come to terms with him and his son, and then that was okay.
Balboa, I think, was the name of it.
Just Balboa? Okay,
I think it was
Balboa.
Balboa.
Okay, I haven't seen Creed. I heard that was good. But look, if a story's good, people will go. You know, a movie that comes to mind that flopped was Alien Covenant. It looks, the director Ridley Scott has an eye for technicality, for visuals, but the story was stupid. It started off good, I get it, but then I'm like, huh? And that's why it flopped. Alien Covenant lost money. It was still visually stunning, beautiful looking film. But you got to, look, I studied screenwriting in college. I wrote 3 scripts and a pilot for comedy. It's hard. It's hard to do it on a consistent basis, and it's easy to fall into a trap of cliches, seen that before. It's difficult to find something original, to write something original. It is almost impossible. You know, the first Predator movie was good. Predator 2 was awful. I did enjoy Aliens versus Predator, believe it or not, for its entertainment value, because it actually made sense. It made sense. The plot behind, I won't give it away, but the first AVP, not the second one, is horrible, but the first AVP made sense. It worked for me. Gladiator was an excellent film, Zanaris, one of his best. That and Thelma and Louise, and this first Alien. Absolutely.
I don't know if I've ever seen a movie with Russell Crowe in it that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I think the first movie that I had seen with him in it was the story of John Nash, the Princeton professor with schizophrenia.
Okay.
I think A Beautiful Mind, I think it was.
Okay, it might be, yeah.
Yep. And then I saw Gladiator, and I saw a couple of his older movies. One of the ones that I really liked was the American Gangster, which was the story of Frank Lucas, I think, the heroin kingpin from New York in the 70s. And Russell Crowe played played his nemesis, a police officer. That was really good as well.
A good set of movies where the writers consistently write top-notch storylines. Mission Impossible movies.
Yep.
Hats off. One after another. Number 6 is coming out next month, or July. I think it's next month anyway. But wow, I'm amazed. You know, that they write consistently. You get sucked in the story of these movies. Very well done. You know, it isn't like James Bond movies hit and miss storyline. All of the Mission Impossible movies are great. It gets you, you know, feeling for the characters. Very well done. That's hard to do, but that's why they keep making them, because people keep going back. You know.
You know, another thing too, I think, is some of the sequels. Is doing them so close together.
Yes.
I think really hurts the performance of the movie, because the only some of the sequel movies that I think of, Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2 was good. The one thing that comes to mind is Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. That first one came out, and it was a pretty good movie. It had a good story to it. It had a lot of action to it.
Yeah.
But they spaced those movies out pretty good. I mean, they were 4 or 5 years, between each movie, and I think they made 4 installments, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And I think there was even a chance that they were going to make a 5th installment too. But they had a good story. All of them had fairly good stories.
Very good. Well, Charlie, you say the latest Star Wars movie has got feminism and political... I haven't seen it. You may be right, there may be so. I don't know. Injected into it as most sci-fi now. It's running all sci-fi and culture ruining. I don't know. I mean, I didn't see that in The Force Awakens. I was ticked off that they killed off Han Solo. The Rogue One, I really enjoyed. That was the best prequel story, Rogue One. Last Jedi was okay, but maybe it's just my open mind about humanity. But the last thing on my mind was political, correctness or feminism. If I liked the story, I mean, they could have had Solo played by a Chinese guy from Bangladesh for all I care. Hey, there's a thought. Maybe that would have got people's attention. And look, as long as you tell me a good story, I don't care who's playing it. I'm looking at what sucks me in as a human, not like white, black, male, female.
Steve Anderson said he likes Ted. Have you ever seen Ted?
I don't think so.
The one with the teddy bear?
I have not seen it, no.
Okay.
No.
If you ever watch that one, Toss, it's not going to be a good movie to bring a younger person to. Just because it's about a teddy bear, you want to be careful with that one.
I don't know, Charlie. I guess you're saying movies are denying reality, ruining culture. I don't know, man. I don't see it. And I was born in New York, and trust me, in my days as a kid in New York, I saw a lot of culture, good and bad. But I'm not. I go in, I pay to see a good story. Plain and simple. And if I don't, like Alien Covenant was not a good story. Some other movies didn't care for. But that's what I see or don't see. But that's just me. So. But I got a feeling Solo failed because it just wasn't that good of a movie, and there was no surprises. Meaning we know Solo dies in The Force Awakens, so by his son, which is kind of tragic.
Charlie, I respect your comment very much, but I don't think either. I don't think we're not in denial by any means. We're grown adults. We see what's happening in the world. It's just there are certain places where what's happening in the world out here, I tend to forget about when I sit down to try to watch something for its entertainment value. I think that's all we're trying to say.
Well, those of you who've seen Solo, can you give an example of where? If it's clean, can you give me an example where there is some of this? I'm more curious. I know Steve Gunnick says revenue so low. Good one.
Joe Panico in the house.
What's up, Joey? Hey,
what's up, Joseph?
Hey, we're talking Star Wars here, Spin Viking says, I think film affirms culture to a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah, I would believe so.
Interesting, Charlie. I don't know. I guess I tend to look towards the good side of humanity more than the other side, but that's just me. Yeah. But that's, once again, TV series, movies. Well, again, I need some examples. If someone can give me an example of the Solo movie that was not cool,
I haven't seen it, so I
can't comment.
Like I said, the last Star Wars movie I saw was the way that they were released when I was a kid was episode 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
And then you waited for years, and then you had episode 1, 2, and 3. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The last Star Wars film I saw was episode 3.
I enjoyed Revenge of the Sith as a prequel. Probably all the prequels they've done, that one got my attention. Right. Charlie likes grumpy old men. I'm sorry, it's too political. It's only about grumpy old men. That's clearly racist against grumpy young men. I'm sorry, that's out of the question. I'm Spin that Viking, that is correct. However, Hollywood scripts are just plain bad, and that is true.
For the most part, they
are. There was a piece of advice that if you have a fantastic idea and or original idea for a movie, you can write or spin a good story out of that nice idea. If the idea doesn't work, the story is not going to work, no matter how many writers that you have. And I would have to agree with that piece of advice, And I'm guessing one of the reasons Solo failed again, we know what happens to Solo in The Force Awakens as Zagroni gets killed by his Vader-type son. There's no surprise. Blues Brothers, I enjoy Blues Brothers. Yeah.
Yep. Blues
It was
Brothers.
a different time back then, yeah.
Yep. Blues, that again, going back to kind of my favorite movies, there's the screwball comedies that I watched as a kid in the early to mid to late 80s. When I was in like junior high and high school.
Yeah.
Things like Caddyshack,
Yeah.
Animal House, Meatballs. Some of those movies they were hilarious.
They were just funny. Just
Funny.
entertainment value, yeah.
Yep. A very a storyline that a 6-year-old could
Yes.
follow, but they were just funny as all get out.
Ronnie Dangerfield, Back to School.
Back to school,
Just
yes.
funny.
Funny. No real plot line other than this guy wanted
The
to get a
only
college
enlightening
degree.
thing in that movie was pure, sheer human silliness, which is great.
Yeah,
you
Joel.
know.
Joel just said the king of all kings, Porky's.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
That was good.
Monty Python stuff was pretty good. Sure.
Joe Sherlock. That's a line from Forrest Gump. I got shot in the buttock.
Did you see that Miss USA is no longer judge on beauty, and it's now been taken over by feminists that want to judge people on what the girls have to say? Makes sense to me. Beauty's only skin deep, right? You can't judge a book by its cover. I don't know about the feminist part, but judge them what they have to say. Do they have intelligence? Do they say anything that's for the common good of humanity? What's the point of having a beauty contest with a nice girl, built, bikini, and then she says something like speculation? Well, I think there should be more white people in movies. I'm just saying and speculating. That doesn't sound for the good of mankind. But because she wears a bikini, we should excuse that. They should judge it by what that person says.
You know what?
But that's just me. And the bikini is a bonus. Actually, start with the bikini first to get my eye attention. And then I won't have any clue what she said. No, I'm just kidding. But
You look at it from this point of view, and I am thankful and consider myself blessed every day. You people can see me right now on your screen. There ain't no way I'm going to go out and win any modeling contract, or would I want to? When my wife and
Yes.
I met, we fell in love because of what was in here, not what was out here.
right.
And I look at people that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us are trained in this and that and everything else, and we're desensitized to certain things, and we're sensitive to others.
Right.
You know what? The minute you lose sight of who a person is on the inside, you may as well cash it in. You may as well just live in a bubble and forget about anything else that's going on in the world, because there's a lot of people out there that are very good looking or average looking, and
Yes.
they can be the same people on the inside, but what's on the outside makes zero difference.
VP1 was good, Charlie. I totally agree. It was a fun movie to watch, and the plot, the story behind it, kind of makes sense. Kind of like Ancient Alienish type of a plot line, but it was believable. At least I thought it was. AVP2 was horrible. Why they waste millions? Yes, the new Predator reboot movie looks atrocious. Just for what I've seen, it's like, oh my God, not again. Again, it comes down to the writing, through the idea. And I don't know what would be a good plot line for AVP. I guess you can have it like, just the top of my head, the new AVP movie, NASA sends a deep space probe to the planet whatever, Mars. We'll use Mars. And the aliens and the predators are battling it out on Mars, and now we fear that they will come to us. They come to Earth, and now we have to fight. Something where it's not so far out, you won't say, come on, man. Okay, Mars, it's doable. One day humans will go there. Is there other life out there? Probably is. You know what I mean? And maybe that story would not fly, but that's a story where at least I can, okay, where's this going? as an example. I studied screenwriting, so but it's hard to write original good stuff. That's why AVP1, Alien vs. Predator #1, the first movie, worked because it was somewhat original. Toss in a bikini is demonetized.
Yeah, you see that? Anna Rita said, "Hey, bikini is what sells." You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if you and I throw a bikini on, it ain't gonna help with the thumbs up.
We will be banned. I don't make a lot off these live shows anyway. So what's the difference, to be quite honest? Now, if I could pay a girlfriend to come on and hi, please give to Toss, be generous, it might work. Shameless plug.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh man.
Do you ever feel like we're getting this close from the edge of this, going like right off the edge?
I can deal with close. We can live with that. Just know, bad words, and everybody knows what a bikini is. It is like, gee, mom, what's that? You know what I mean? So it's, kids today are shrewd. They pick up pretty quick. But you're right. We have to be tempered and only say the word bikini 24 times and then stop.
And 25 times is this overdoing it?
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yes, Brian. NASA did announce today they think they may have found ancient life evidence 3 billion years ago. We are not alone. There's proof that we have Linux users on Mars.
And you know what?
I think the rover has Linux built in, right? I don't know.
And they all died beating their head against the screen because they couldn't get Bracero to work on their installation. They couldn't burn the little CD for their spaceship.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because the rover records everything on a CD. No, I don't know, but I'm having trouble with Bracero again burning. And anyway, the new movie with adult Muppet puppets, really interesting.
Are we still talking G or PG? Or is that Muppet movie being shown in one of those special theaters downtown?
Really? First Blood was good. Mm-hmm. Sylvester Stallone, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another good example of like the Rocky movie.
Yeah.
First Blood was great.
Yes.
The second one, pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the time he got to the third one,
I liked the very last one he did was okay. I forget the name of it. I thought it was okay. There was nothing enlightening about it. The first one was enlightening because it could happen. The guy goes nuts, But yes, Brian, welcome, Brian. By the way, yes, NASA did make an announcement, and I don't think we're alone, man. I just, we had talked briefly about Nikola Tesla. There's a great series on history, I believe, on the life of Nikola Tesla. This guy, 100 years ago, was 100 years ahead of his time. You can thank Nikola for your cell phone, for wireless charging, AC motor, Tesla motors, the helicopters. Now think of the person today who's 100 years of his time. You think that person doesn't have an idea for the warp drive? Charlie says, what's your view on Star Trek diversity? That's a great example of sci-fi ruined with political. Star Trek has been a hit and miss, Charlie. Once again, to me, a TV series, a movie, all comes down to the writing. Do I feel engaged in the plot line, in the story? I think a good example would be Star Trek Voyager. The ratings were kind of going down. Then they hired that woman to play Seven of Nine. Obviously, for not political correctness at all. But then the stories got better with the Borg. But as far as Star Trek, Charlie, it's been a hit and miss. Now, if you want to call it political correctness or lack of it or because of it, fine, but I didn't really think it's more of the storylines. I think the new one, Star Trek Discovery, is also hit and miss from what I've seen, but I think it deserves a second season. I think it's been renewed.
I've never been a big Star Trek watcher. When I was a kid, I watched the original reruns. and I
yeah,
watched a little bit
yeah.
of what was the first of the modern day Star Trek, not William Shatner days. What was the first one with Patrick Stewart?
Oh, Next Generation.
Yes, I tried watching that for a couple
Yeah,
of seasons,
yeah.
but then as I got kind of older, I kind of migrated away from really watching much sci-fi. So I'm not.
Well, Deep Space Nine had a played by a black actor. I can think of his name. I didn't tell myself, "Oh, it's a black actor." That was the last thing on my mind. You know what I was thinking of? That's
an
a
actor.
perfect role for that guy. Benjamin Sisko, I forget his real name. That's a perfect role for this man, for this actor. That's what I was thinking. Not because he was white or black. But again, it all comes down to the story. I don't care about their race. We're all humanity, you know. I mean, if it's blatant where they talk about race against race, culture against culture, purposely, then that would tick me off as a human being, as a Christian. But most movies you'll see now, if it's a comedy, a spoof about race relations, that's a different story. But putting the other side, yeah, I don't go in there thinking, okay, what's the politics in this one? I hope it's not that way at all. But I haven't seen that, no. You know.
Zadaris just injected something. He said he didn't want to interrupt the movie talk. What are your thoughts on VPN filter router malware?
There was some news about routers in general being potentially hacked by the Russians. You need to reboot or reset the router. Doesn't surprise me, and that's all I know about the router stuff.
What I've heard is, in most cases, there's been security vulnerabilities found in the
Yes.
routers
Mm-hmm.
and the firmware. However, every major router manufacturer, as far as I can remember, the little bit that I've read,
Yeah.
all of them have patched that. And the first thing you need to do is get into your router, update the firmware, reboot it, and you
Yes.
should be good to go.
Mm-hmm. And Arita said 7 of 9 was a 10. I'll agree. You know, when that actress came on, Jerry Ryan, it was after that where they injected more of the Borg. You know, the Borg, you will be assimilated. We are the Borg. Great storylines. That's when it hit its stride. Mid-season of Star Trek Voyager, and again, it all came down to the good stories for the most part. You know.
Our buddy Joe Panico that said reset your password also as added protection.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Generally, what I do is anytime I do an update on the firmware on my router,
Yes.
I automatically change the passwords for the admin to log into it,
Okay.
as well as the password for the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Joe.
Cool. They are removing the swimsuits and night outfits on the beauty show. Really? All the swimsuits and that? That's kind of strange. I mean, it is a beauty pageant. That seems odd, Charlie, to remove all of it. Yeah, I mean, if that's politically motivated, then that's kind of silly. I mean, it's a beauty pageant. I can understand not showing a low-cut bikini, but, you know, like a swimsuit, they're going to remove that too? Well, I'm not going to watch it. I don't watch it anyway, but...
Anna Rita that said, is it okay to leave your modem on at all times, or should one shut it down
I
every day?
leave it on. Comcast hasn't told me one way or the other, so I leave it on. I do reboot it, reset it, reboot it, unplug it every month.
Now, what I have done is not the modem itself. I'll leave
Right.
that on at all times.
Right.
But when we were traveling for the 4 days,
Yeah.
I will unplug my wireless points. I will power those down.
Okay.
So when I leave, there's not a broadcast of anything out of the house.
Okay.
I will do that.
Hello, Viralis. How are you? Yeah, I haven't seen any message from Comcast on my modem being a problem. They did send me an offer to upgrade the modem. I may do that eventually when it's necessary, but I haven't seen any. Actually had Comcast come in a week ago to replace one of my boxes. I upgraded to the voice Xfinity One voice activation, which is kind of convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I just say go to Tesla Files or Ancient Aliens, and boom, it's there, and it works okay. So, as far as that goes. Disable Wi-Fi in the router settings. I think what they were saying is to reboot the router or reset it. You don't have to disable the Wi-Fi on the router.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's, within reason, if you're broadcasting a signal out within reason, that's always going to inherently carry a vulnerability.
Yeah.
More so than this having a Ethernet cable and plugging directly into it and then into your machine.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is. But for me, I don't when I leave the house for an extended period of time, I don't disable anything. I actually just take the power away from it.
Okay.
Because if nobody's in the house, we do have some things that are wirelessly connected, but if we're not in the house, it doesn't make a difference if they don't have a connection. If I'm not there, both of us aren't there, and nobody's in the house, there's no reason to have the wireless on. So
I unplug my Echo Dot Alexa for my bedroom. I just pull the plug.
Yep.
And no one's using it. Sometimes leave it on. Most of the time I unplug it. Charlie says Linux Babes sound good today. Is that a YouTube channel, Linux Babes? Or are those Linus's girlfriends?
Yeah.
Comcast can spy you through the modem router. Yeah, I suppose so, Steven. Yeah. It's a shame about all this privacy and spyware thing, and I'm sick and tired. I go to a website or something. We've updated our privacy policy. What privacy policy?
Yep.
The fact that you have to tell me means that you never had it.
Yep.
So just stop it. I don't care. Yes, we're being spied on. Just be honest.
I think I'm going to have to cash it in here pretty quick, Toss.
Yeah, I'm about ready to jump off soon myself. Yeah.
Starting to get tired.
Yeah. So
tomorrow night, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. tomorrow night, unless something changes at the last minute. I don't foresee anything changing. But yeah, tomorrow night, guys, 10 p.m. Eastern, New York time here in the States. Join me for a Thank Toss. It's Friday. We'll talk some more topical stuff. We'll talk about some of your comments. Maybe inject some more humor from last week. Maybe some more of those church bloopers that are hilarious. Maybe some more of that. So we'll give this another minute, and then I'm out of here. So.
How are we doing on the thumbs up?
Let's haven't looked. Hello, Timo. How are you? Tim, join us tomorrow night if you can.
Hey, Timo.
Yeah. $7 p.m. out west. That is true, Heather. Yes. Yeah. Pacific time.
Wow. We've got 21 watching right now, and we have 25 thumbs up.
Excellent.
Awesome job, guys.
Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Why don't we thank you all for joining in. Again, let me mention again that those of you who support the live events through PayPal, do not click the monthly option. It is not working for me. I don't know why. Just click the regular donation tab, link, whatever, and just go from there. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking into Patreon again. It's a lot of work, setting up all that. But anyway, just a reminder, do not use the monthly option in PayPal. I still trust PayPal. I believe it to be secure because I still use it personally. Anyway. Thank you, Tim. Why don't we, why don't we play about a minute of Stephanie's video, since I'm in the humanity mood this evening, as I usually am. let's give Stephanie Forian another shout out. Check out Stephanie Forian on YouTube. She is an independent singer-songwriter. We did about a dozen news and nonsense last year. She's from Boston and works in Germany, in Munich. That's the only place she can find steady gigs, unfortunately. I would love to bring her, well, we would all like to bring her back in the States because she was born in the USA, as the song goes. So let me go ahead and screen share here. I'll play about a minute or so, and you can look up the video on YouTube. So let's do this. All right, give me a second here.
Tears on my face, I can feel your hands slip away. I can feel the heaviness, I can see my family. I can see the look in your eyes. I can feel the hunger, I can smell the beer. I can taste the salt, I can smell the cigarettes. I can hear them pronounce my name. I can see dust in the air. I am closer than before. I could hear the words out, did I understand? I gave away my bags to the car with the man. Couldn't find my place, drove around forever and slept in days. I can hear the phone ring from downstairs, but I can't answer it. I just sit outside and watch the sunset. The ringing stars ring again. I will the phone and it rings again. Cold plastic to my ear, but it's not the voice I wanted. But I am closer than before to reaching the end. Oh God, my feet are sore from climbing this mountain. I can feel the corners of the glass, it's busy, gets my fingertips closed fists. I can see the clouds and wisps as frost falls away. Lights becoming distant, I can feel the tears. They're rising now in my eyes to meet my fears. Try to wipe away before someone sees me cry.
All right. Yeah, that's a different version of her song. This was a sponsored video for her from TC Helion, some kind of gadget that does reverb, different kind of effects. But trust me, she's got a beautiful, absolutely stunning voice. Check out her stuff here. She's got a bunch of videos on YouTube, a lot of acoustic stuff. But she has the voice. She's got a wonderful, beautiful, natural, God-given voice. So if you like her stuff, buy some of her songs and help her out. So
Beautiful voice.
yeah. All right. So Stephanie, if you watch this, come back for some news and nonsense. We all miss you. You know. But anyway, yeah. Bookmark her site, stephanieforian.com. Check out her CD. She wrote a beautiful song, and then we'll end this, Tim. She wrote a beautiful song a few years ago called Dream On. It's a song about world peace. And that's all I'm going to say. Beautiful piece of music. But she writes, I think she told me last year she had a catalog of about 250 songs that she wrote. Now, she says, that doesn't mean that they're all good. But she wrote her hit song, Sweet Insomnia, on the way back on the plane from the States to Munich. It just came to her, if I recall the story. What a gift. Yeah. I wish I had that gift. All I could think of was writing about bikinis. But no. Warning good people is in the house. You got the last call. He says, hi, I was wondering what is the worst thing you can think of in terms of punishment? And do you think hell is basically that forever? Interesting topic. Maybe we should save that for tomorrow night, Tim.
You know, that's a very interesting topic. Now,
Interesting, yeah.
It's something that, you know, I think can promote some good discussion, but I think also on the same hand, it can promote some controversial
yes
outcomes as well. myself, as my faith tells me, hell is essentially the eternal separation from you and God. That is what my faith has taught me. That is my belief.
Yes.
And
I would have to agree.
and that is hell, basically. That, as far as I'm concerned, yes. The worst thing that could happen to me is complete separation from God for all of eternity.
I do not believe in a physical place, a town, or a physical place that is hell. You want to know why? Think about this. God is all creating, all loving, all powerful. God loved you so much that if you make a lot of mistakes, he burns you in hell. Then does that make any sense? To me, it
No.
doesn't. It really doesn't. Hell is the common sin or the common grave of mankind, in my opinion. So it's not a physical place.
Now, if we
in
were
my
to take-
opinion.
If we were to take warning good people, your question, I was wondering what the worst thing you can think of in terms of punishment. Now, if we take that and if we take the complete religious aspect out of it, or faith aspect, and put it in terms of an OS, Casa scratching he's doing one of these.
I just got an itch. That's all. I got to shave.
Yeah, so do I.
I hope that answers your question. Warning good people. Well, that should not be a warning. That should be welcome good people. I'm just saying, but welcome anyway. Good people. Yes, we're all good people. I hope that answers your question without being too religious or political. But I just don't believe in the physical. Yeah, because if God is all loving, why would he create evil? Just a thought. Now, if you don't believe in that or atheist, then that's a different story, and that's cool too. You know.
Yep, that's cool.
I think the late great Bruce Lee said it best. He says, "Mankind, man, the living creature, is more important than any established system or style." Now, a system or style, he was talking about martial arts style, but that can be applied to your way of life. Bruce was smart, man. You should read his stuff, before he passed away. But that's my thought on that, if it makes any sense, on hell. Brian Truxell said Hillary Clinton is worse. All right. I always get a kick that, and by the way, I was a Bernie fan, but there you go. I always get a kick when a political figure wins. I'm not talking Hillary versus Trump. Any political figure wins, and then the crowd or somebody says, "Oh, thank God, God sent us that person to save us." Have you heard of Jesus Christ? I'm just saying, So I don't buy.
There was a guy here about 2,000 years ago that took care of that for us.
Yes, so no. If I recall a passage in the Bible, they asked Jesus to run for office. He says, "No, my kingdom is not of this earth."
Yep.
Yeah, he's already been sent to save. It's just a matter of us to choose his teachings. Believe in the commandments, try to be a good husband, father, spouse, whatever. It has nothing to do with politics. I mean, think about it. There are people who said Trump has saved us. Well, that's a good example. He's cheated on 3 wives, lies a lot. I don't think the voters put him in the office, and that's fine. That's how our system works. We have to respect that. We don't have to like it either way, no matter who you voted. But to say a certain person, God sent us that person, no. And you want to know who God can send to you? Let's say you're feeling down and out, or a homeless person who's hungry, and a bystander walks by, talks to that person, listens to him, and gives him some food. Now you can say God sent that homeless person, to feed him.
Yep.
It's not politics, it's humanity. Remember, the common good. What can you do today, tomorrow in your life to contribute to the common good for all of us? What little thing can you do? I don't know, maybe spend more time with your spouse. Maybe apologize to your mom and dad because you said something mean.
How about
It's just
simply,
a thought.
how about simply smile at somebody when you walk through a store? How about when you're walking into the store holding the door open for the person either coming out as you're going in or the person that's coming in right behind you. You know,
Yeah.
one of the things I try to instill in my grandkids is, you know what? Spending 10 to 20 seconds per day doing one kind thing, sooner or later it'll create a habit. And as you create that habit, the more often you're going to exercise that habit. And just think, if you put 10 or 15 seconds into making a kind gesture tomorrow, sooner or later, as time goes on, you're going to start to feel good about the things that you're doing because you're doing them selflessly, and you are stepping outside of yourself to just do something nice for a stranger. And just think, if you did that, say 2 times a day, every day for the next 4 weeks, and each one of the people that you did that to did the same thing you did, exponentially, you have nothing other than decent people walking around.
Right. If one human being helped one human being, no human being would be without help.
Correct.
I think I read that somewhere.
Yep.
So show some love. So show some love to my friend Stephanie. Buy 1 or 2 of her songs. Help her out, or her CD. You can tell her I sent you. She called me, I am the music ambassador. Feels so important here in the States for her. But anyway, we are all special in God's eyes, yeah, because we are creatures of the earth. I also wish there was more forgiveness actually in practice. I would have to agree. Yeah.
Yes. You know,
totally, yeah.
Honestly, if you really look at a lot of the conflict in the world, it's because people aren't getting together. They aren't coming together on common ground for a common purpose. And in my mind, I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to get goofy on anybody, but you know what? If you simply forgive a fellow man and then you come together on common ground, come up with a solution that's good for everybody.
What is the meaning of love? Unconditional love. How do you define love? What is a definition of love? Unconditional love.
Yep.
We need a group hug. Okay, group hug.
It's a good thing we are not a BSD community, because we wouldn't be allowed to hug.
I know. Jeez. No
be
virtual hugs.
No
well,
virtual hugs.
Their name in the OS is BS. So
Oh, man.
I'm done.
How many thumbs down are we going to get for that
I'm
one?
just joking. BSD is based in California. I love California.
Guys, do not forget to thumbs up the video if you haven't done it. Do not forget to subscribe to Toss's channel, because it is the best dang channel out there on YouTube. And do not forget to visit his PayPal link and shoot him a couple of bucks to help him out do what he does best, and that is this.
Thank you. I am here because of this channel is as much yours, all of you ladies and guys, as it is mine. And it's been over 8 years. It's been tough the last 2-3 years trying to keep this going with AdSense and all that stuff. It's been tough. I thought about stopping it, but I keep asking. I was asked to come back, do this, do that, and I'm here for you guys. So anyway, Joe says, okay, Joe, enough. Hey, California folks, that was Joey from Montana who said that.
Oh, no hate mail, please.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Toss needs an office chair. You know, I actually do. Maybe tomorrow night I'll show you my wish list on Amazon. And, about $5,000 to do it. What can I say? Good stuff is not cheap.
Joe doesn't want any hate mail. Here, let's get his email address here in the comments.
Okay. His email is forgetaboutit@. Oh, wait, that's mine. Never mind. No.
Joe, the BSD loving freak at.
That's a good one, Joe. I actually was thinking about that, but
What does BSD actually stand for?
it's oh crap.
Come on,
I
you
don't
guys,
remember.
help us out.
Yeah, help us out. It's something based out of California, I think, right? To be totally serious, I don't remember. I'm sorry, BSD guys. I don't remember. Yeah.
Wasn't BSD spun from Unix?
I think it's their own separate.
It
I
is.
think,
Okay.
Right. Ben, we're almost done here. Yeah, we've been on over an hour. I'm done for this evening. Berkeley. Thank you, Steve. Berkeley, the University of Berkeley. Thank you. Everybody say thank you to Steve for looking that up. I was too lazy to go to YouTube. To Google right now. I'm ready for bed. It's been a long day. Ben, I'll be on tomorrow night. Sorry, man. Yeah, this is just it wasn't short chat, but that's okay. Berkeley software. Maybe that's what it is. It could be. I know it's based out of the university there. It's all good, Ben. It's all cool. Thank you for stopping by. Tonight was just a random chat. Yeah, we were just destroying Star Wars, and no, we weren't. But didn't Google. Oh, you just knew it. Steve's a show-off. He knows it all. No, I'm just kidding.
Steve is just that dang smart.
Berkeley Software Design. Thank you, Frank.
There
I
it
knew it was
is.
based out of California. I'm not into that kind of operating system, and maybe it is a fine OS if you have more practice with it. I really don't know, to be quite honest. We made fun of it, but no, I really don't know. I just don't know. All right, I'm out of here. I'm tired. My co-host partner Tim F is tired, so we're gonna call it a night. We'll talk more tomorrow night at 10 p.m. local Eastern, 7 p.m. specific time. Pacific time. Specifically Pacific time at 7 p.m. Thanks to Heather for that. Ben will be 27 next month. Well, happy birthday next month, you little pup, you.
I've got shoes that are older than that.
Well, good for you. Yeah. Zapatos. In Spanish, shoes are zapatos. I know a friend of mine, he buys shoes like every other week, so I call him Senor Zapatos. Senor Shoes.
Why would a guy need to buy a pair of shoes every couple of weeks?
That's what it, maybe not that frequent, but it seems that way. I don't know. He's into shoes. I guess he wears out the shoes. I don't know. I guess golfing wears out shoes.
Golfing
I
wears
agree.
out shoes?
I get it, because if you're on your feet all day, shoes wear out, and your whole body weight is on the shoe, so you want a good pair of shoes. I get it. But Ana Rita will be 41 this month. 40 last April for Steve. Well, happy birthday, Ana. You don't look a day over. I have no clue because I've never seen you.
Ana Rita, I believe Ana Rita is on her 12th anniversary of her 29th birthday.
See, I'm 39 plus tax. Lots of tax. State tax, age tax.
Joe the Steady became legal age when Ana Rita was born. Man, that Joe guy is old, didn't he, Toss?
Yeah, he's okay. He's a paisano, he's all right,
Wow.
Right, Joey? All right, we're going to wrap it up now for sure. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern New York time, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Great hanging with you guys.
Always fun. Say good night, Tim.
Good night, Tim.
Bye.